the 1500s, European countries were eager to send people across the Atlantic to explore the Americas. To explore is to travel to new places in order to learn more about them. In 1542, the Spanish explorer Juan Cabrillo sailed northward from what is now Mexico. He hoped to find a trade route between Mexico and China, something that could bring great wealth. With 3 crowded ships under his command, Cabrillo and his crew began exploring the areas we know now as San Diego and San Miguel. Cabrillo didn't find a route to Asia, but his voyages did provide the first reliable account of California's coastline.
Cabrillo National Monument is named after Juan Rodriguez Cabrillo, who in 1542 was the first that we know of to sail up the coast of California. Now, of course, the Native Americans had been here for a long time. Archaeologists believe at least 9,000 years. But Cabrillo was the first who came up the coast in a ship, wrote about what he saw, and himself died on the expedition. But his crew returned and left us with our first written record of what California was in 1542.
Cabrillo blazed a trail that many explorers would follow. The Spanish called this area Alta California, which means Upper California. In 1579, Sir Francis Drake, an English explorer, headed north along California's coast. Sailing along the coast of Northern California, Drake claimed the land for England, dubbing it Nova Albion, another way of saying New England. More than 20 years later, in 1602, Sebastián Vizcaíno explored the area that stretches from San Diego to Monterrey for Spain. Some explorers sailed southward along California's coast. In 1728, Vitus Bering traveled across the Pacific Ocean from Russia. His goal was to figure out if Asia and North America were connected by land. Was there a passage through North America to Europe? Bering found the waterway between Russia and present-day Alaska. It was later named the Bering Strait in his honor. The Bering Strait served as a route that Russian traders could take to California from the north. In 1778, British Captain James Cook traveled through the Bering Strait after sailing up the west coast of North America. He, like many explorers, had been searching for a northern sea route between Europe and Asia. Although many explorers sailed along the California coast, the journey was rarely an easy one. Ships were drawn off course by heavy winds and strong ocean currents, or the patterns of the flow of water. When they wanted to rest, crews had difficulty finding safe harbors for their ships along the rocky coastline. When Europeans finally came to explore the land in the 1700s, they faced another obstacle. The coast ranges, a row of mountains that run along the coast, blocked them from traveling farther inland. When they did pass over the mountains, explorers found that the foggy coastal weather often gave way to dry deserts. Despite these struggles, explorers such as Juan Cabrillo, Sir Francis Drake, Sebastián Vizcaíno, Vitus Bering, and James Cook scouted islands, bays, and waterways. They made maps and shared their findings with those who would follow from other parts of the world to begin coming to what we now know as California.